Political consultation in the new era by the Communist Party of China. Now let's cross live to the scene. You're watching live footage from Beijing.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the press conference of the Publicity Department of the CPC Central Committee. Today, we are holding the latest press conference under the theme of China in the past decade, the 19th in the series. We are delighted to have with us Ms. Chen, Deputy Director, the United Front Work Department of the CPC Central Committee, Ms. Jiayi, Deputy Secretary General of the CPPCC National Committee, will brief you on the measures and progress in upholding and improving the system of CPC-led multi-party cooperation and political consultation in the new era and take your questions. We're also glad to be joined by Deputy Director of the Committee of Proposals of the CPPCC National Committee, Mr. Zhang Jing'an, and Head of the Bureau of Non-CPC Political Parties Work of the United Front Work Department, Mr. Zhang. Now I give floor to Ms. Chen. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good morning. At the end of last month, from July the 29th to the 30th, on the centenary of the CPC's clear identification of its United Front policy, the CPC Central Committee convened a Central Conference on United Front Work. General Secretary Xi Jinping's important thoughts on advancing the party's United Front work in the new era are the most important theoretical outcomes of the conference. General Secretary Xi called for 12 musts in his speech, which includes that we must uphold, develop and improve China's new model of political party system. That is CPC-led multi-party cooperation and political consultation. Since the 18th CPC National Congress, under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, the new model of political party system has made new progress in line with the new era, demonstrated its unique strength in national politics and social life, and also provided China's wisdom and solution to the progress of world's political civilization. Let me share with you the following aspects. Over the past decade, the top-level design of the new model of political party system is becoming clearer. The CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi at its core, has implemented the national rejuvenation strategy within the wider context of once-in-a-century changes in the world, and have included into the party's basic policy the upholding and improvement of the CPC-led multi-party cooperation and political consultation, and stated clearly that the CPC-led system of multi-party cooperation and political consultation is the new model of political party system, that other political parties are participating parties in state governance under the Chinese socialist system, with basic functions of engaging in the deliberation and administration of state affairs, democratic oversight, and CPC-led political consultation. That multi-party cooperation shall take on new momentum, build more consensus, and undertake new initiatives to fulfill duties. Other political parties should act as the CPC's advisors, assistants, and partners. These new theories, ideas, and propositions have systematically answered major questions, including what kind of multi-party cooperation system and what kind of participating parties should be developed in the new era, and how to achieve these goals. The new model of political party system is clearly oriented and has become a good system with steady progress. Second, over the past decade, the framework of the new model of political party system has been better developed. To advance the work of political consultation, enhance the socialist consultative democracy, and improve other political parties' participation in state governance, the CPC Central Committee has formulated specific intra-party regulations and multiple important documents, and supported and helped other political parties in enhancing themselves, and introduced a series of documents concerning the development of the organization, building of the leadership, and internal supervision. Now we put in place a framework, institutional framework based on the Constitution, featuring mainly intra-party regulations and laws and documents, and buttressed by supportive policies. The new model of political party system has worked smoothly and has become a well-equipped good system. Third, over the past decade, the political consensus under the new model of political party system is more consolidated. We've supported other political parties in deeply learning the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, launching a campaign on the theme of renewing cooperation and forging ahead together, and conducting a series of education and learning on the 70th anniversary of the PRC, the centenary of the CPC, and the 70th anniversary of the May 1st slogans, to uphold the good tradition of multi-party cooperation. In the new era and on the new journey, the CPC has united and led other political parties and persons without party affiliations to overcome various risks and challenges, fight shoulder by shoulder, and achieve the greatest possible convergence of interests. The new model of political party system has brought harmony and stability and become a good system conducive to building consensus. Fourth, over the past decade, the effectiveness of the new model of political party system has been further brought out. Other political parties and persons without party affiliation have kept in mind the country's top priorities, actively fulfilled their duties, and shared valuable advice on promoting prosperity for all, advancing carbon peaking and neutrality in a balanced way, and other important issues. They've earnestly conducted democratic supervision around poverty reduction and the protection of the Yangtze River ecosystem. They've demonstrated their unique strength and contributed their wisdom and strength, many of whose opinions have been translated into the party's and country's decisions. In the great transformation of the past decade in the new era, the CPC has exerted strong leadership, while other political parties and non-affiliates have stood firmly by and acted together with the CPC. The new model of political party system has brought wisdom and strength and become a good system with unique charm. To sum up, history and practice have fully shown that the new model of political party system of China is a brand new political party model in line with Chinese national conditions and with unique features. We are fully convinced that under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, the new model of political party system as a good system with Chinese features, style, and rooted in Chinese culture will further demonstrate extraordinary strength and take more solid development. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Chen. Now, I give floor to Ms. Zhou, Deputy Secretary General.
Thank you. Dear friends from the press, good morning. It's a great pleasure to brief you on some new practices and achievements of the CPPCC since the 18th National Congress of the CPC. Since that Congress, the CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, has given strong focus on the development of CPPCC, promoting innovation in theories, practice, and institutions. In 2019, we held the Central Committee on the CPPCC, outlining the direction for the development of the CPPCC in the new era and enabling the conference to make new historic achievements. First of all, we implemented General Secretary Xi Jinping's important thought on strengthening and improving the CPPCC by innovating CPPCC theories. since the 18th National Congress of the CPPCC, taking into consideration the overall picture of the party and the national development, General Secretary Xi Jinping expounded on the roles, functions, responsibilities of the CPPCC and its focus of work and requirements for its practices, which is a development of the party's theory on the conference. For the first time, General Secretary Xi Jinping made it clear that the CPPCC is an important channel for socialist consultative democracy and a specialized body for consultation, a key component of state governance system and distinctively Chinese institution. To strengthen ideological guidance, building consensus is a central part of the CPPCC's duty. With a keen understanding into his important thought, the CPPCC has made great efforts to make ourselves an important ground for upholding and strengthening the party's leadership over all areas of work, a key platform for uniting, educating, and guiding representatives from different sectors with the party's new theories, and a key channel for resolving differences and building consensus based on shared ideological foundation. Second, we effectively promoted state governance and promoted innovation in practices. Becoming a specialized body for consultation is a new role given to the CPPCC in this new era. The 13th National Committee made it an overarching, fundamental, and strategic project. In the past 10 years, focusing on key state affairs and the public concerns, we have provided more than 47,000 proposals, held 18 standing committee meetings, 20 special consultation meetings, 140 bi-weekly consultation meetings, and 16 remote meetings, 51 expert consultation meetings, enriching our mechanisms and practices for consultation. And bi-weekly consultative forum was established during the 12th National Committee to increase the frequency of consultations so that key topics can be discussed in time and in full. In light of the new conditions and development, the 13th National Committee also created the remote and expert consultative forums to make it more in-depth and wide-ranging. By using the Internet, the remote consultation extends to businesses, communities, campuses, and villages. At one time, when we were deliberating on environmental protection in Tibetan Plateau, we talked directly to those in Tibet and got a clear understanding of the situation on the ground. The expert consultation meetings focus on some exclusive topics that are forward-looking, where experts can have in-depth and repeated discussions on many occasions on some major and complex issues to provide insightful suggestions for government decision-making. These new forms have become a brand of the CPPCC. At the same time, we've also exercised consultative oversight to carry out democratic supervision on the implementation of the major decisions of the CPC Central Committee. Thirdly, we also enriched our mechanisms by creating new arrangements. In 2018, the first meeting of the 13th National Committee adopted an amendment to the CPPCC Constitution, establishing the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era as the guiding thought of the CPPCC, laying the common ideological foundation for us to work together towards a common goal. In the past year, in implementing the rules of work of the CPPCC, CPCs on CPPCC and the CPC Central Committee's opinion on strengthening the CPPCC and the opinions on strengthening CPPCC at municipal and county levels. We have developed hundreds of new rules for our work, building a framework which is based on the Constitution and relies on the consultative framework as its main network. Now we are working on the rules of work of the CPCs on political consultation to further enrich the framework. And fourth, we are building in-depth consensus to strengthen unity among Chinese in and out of China. Promoting democracy and unity, advising policy and building consensus are two sides of the same coin. The CPPCC has developed a work pattern that reaches from inside the party to outside the party, from members to people from all walks of life, to build harmonious relations between political parties, ethnicities, religions, and Chinese people in and outside of China. We strengthened the political guidance, reviewed the history of the party, of the country, and China's reform and opening up, and socialism, and we also championed the great spirit of the CPC. In order to build consensus in consultation, we made it part of our work in inspection, research, and interactions. We are also encouraging our members to carry out self-learning and self-education, and created new mechanisms for private conversations with members and reading platforms for all members. For 3 years in a row, we have organized 34. We have organized inspection tours for members from 34 sectors to encourage members to travel around the country to provide policy guidance. Thank you, Ms. Zhou. Now the floor is open for questions. Please identify yourself before you raise your question.
从东区开始，东区第2排内侧那位男士。感谢主持人和各位嘉宾，我是中央广电总台央视的记者。今年6月，中共中央发布了中国共产党。
In June this year, the CPC Central Committee released the rules of work on political consultation. Can you share with us the goal of releasing the rules? What's the content? And what impact it will have on multi-party cooperation? How will the CPPCC carry out its work in line with the new regulations?
I think this question concerns both the United Front Work Department and CPPCC. I'll invite Ms. Chen first. Thank you for your question. Let me answer your question first. Now, first, what is political consultation? It means that under the CPC leadership, the CPC and other political parties and also representatives from various sectors conduct consultation on the parties' and countries' major policies and important issues in economic and social development and other important matters. Therefore, the formulation and introduction of the regulations of the CPC on political consultation work is intended to enhance the party's leadership over political consultation and make the work more rationally conceived, institutionalized, and procedure-based, to uphold and improve the CPC-led system of multi-party cooperation and political consultation, and consolidate and develop the patriotic united front. This is the intention. In June, we promulgated regulations of the CPC on political consultation work. It is guided by Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for the new era. It has deeply implemented General Secretary Xi's important thoughts on advancing the party's united front work in the new era and on enhancing and improving the CPPCC work. It has made comprehensive regulation about political consultation. In terms of contents, it includes 8 chapters with 31 articles. Chapter 1 is the general principles with 5 articles about the aim and grounds of the regulations, the definition, the role and basic means of political consultation, and its guiding principles and important thinking. Chapter 2 is the organization, leadership and duties with 4 articles. To clarify the specific duties of the CPC Central Committee, the party committees at various levels, the United Front Work Department and leading party members groups of CPPCC in political consultation. Chapter 3 is the target and contents of political consultation, with 4 articles about the substantive contents of political consultation. Chapter 4 to 7 are respectively about how to prepare for and conduct political consultation activities, apply its outcomes and feedback and safeguard mechanisms, with 16 articles about the procedural contents of political consultation. Chapter 8 consists of 2 supplementary articles about the right for final interpretation and implementation date of the regulations. The regulations is the first intra-party regulations of the CPC Central Committee for political consultation. It provides basic guidelines for political consultation in the new era. About its impacts, I believe that the formulation and implementation of the regulations will help to enhance the CPC's leadership over political consultation and make the work more rationally, more effective. It helps to uphold and improve the new model of political party system and better leverage the role of political consultation and consolidate and develop the patriotic united front in the new era. It will help to encourage non-CPC individuals to share advice, build consensus, and contribute their share to building a modern socialist country in all respects. Thank you. Deputy Secretary Zhou. I'll answer the later part of your question. How to conduct the CPPCC political consultation.
The new regulation says that political party consultation and CPPCC consultation are 2 of the main ways of consultation. The CPPCC's consultation is consultation between the CPC and democratic parties and representatives from all walks of life. It is an important part of the multi-party cooperation system under the leadership of the CPC. It has a glorious tradition and strong political strengths. Since the 18th National Congress of the CPC, Chinese President Xi Jinping has interacted with the CPPCC members and taken part in our meetings to deliberate state affairs with all of us. This includes building new relations between the government and businesses, improving China's political party system. These were all raised during his discussions with the CPPCC members. It is a practice of the CPPCC's political consultation. We are studying the regulations carefully and implementing our responsibilities as stipulated in a new document and organizing our political consultation in accordance with it. In an effort to implement the party's leadership over all links of our work and better promote and support the party's work. First of all, we carried out our annual plan, focusing on the central government and local government's measures and economic and social development, cultural, social and environmental issues, and questions related to the united front. We are pooling opinions from all sides and propose annual program for consultation and report it to the Standing Committee of the CPC Committee, which will then be approved and put into action. And second, we are carrying out research in various forms and in innovative forms, including carrying out specialized joint studies and entrusted research to advise policymaking. Third, we are making effective use of different forms of consultation, such as standing committees meeting, specialized consultation, to match the form with the task at hand, so that we can better organize our work and increase our efficiency. Fourth, we are building consensus. That is to carry out real consultation and carry out exchange in an in-depth manner to build consensus, shelve differences, and increase common understanding, to translate the parties' propositions to action by various sectors and unite different strengths around the Central Committee. Fifth, we are translating the programs into actions and giving feedbacks to the government so that we can better inform the government.
The CPC's regulations of the CPC on United Front work has requirements about the appointment of non-CPC leaders at government courts and procurators at various levels. Could you share with us the situation, and do they have mandate and power? Thank you for your question, which is a very good one. Indeed, it's important institutional arrangement under the new model of political party system that government departments and judicial bodies at various levels should appoint certain non-CPC members as leaders to enhance cooperation between the CPC and other political parties and non-affiliates. The CPC has upheld equality, democratic consultation, and sincere cooperation. We've supported governments and judicial bodies and non-CPC leaders at various levels in actively fulfilling their duties and playing their role. So far, at the Supreme People's Court and Procuratorate, and State Council, ministries and bureaus, 19 holding the leading positions from other political parties and persons without party affiliation. For instance, Mr. Huang Renqiu is the Vice Chairman of the Central Committee of Jiayi Society and Minister of Ecology and Environment, the one who hold a principal leading post at the State Council bureaus. Gan Ling, Vice Chair of China Zhigong Party, Deputy Head of the State Administration for Market Regulation and Director of the State Anti-Monopoly Bureau. Gao Hongjun, a non-affiliate, who is the Vice Head of the China Academy of Social Science. They and their alike have fulfilled their duties earnestly on their positions and played a valuable role. By June 2021, among 31 provinces, autonomous regions, and municipalities, 29 non-CPC members served as vice governor or chair or mayor. 380 served as vice mayor, prefecture, or league or district head. 45 served as deputy head of provincial people's courts and procuratorates. 345 served as deputy head of people's courts and procuratorates in prefecture-level cities. For the work they are in charge of, according to relevant regulations, they enjoy the right to guide administrative work, decide on how to address the issues, and also suggest on the appointment and the removal of personnel. So, for sure, the non-CPC leaders have their duties, their mandate, and their power. Thank you.
Thank you. The CPPCC has taken measures to build consensus, such as encouraging members to give lectures. Can you brief us on this? Thank you for your question. I see you have been following our work. Unity and democracy are the two main themes of our work. Unity needs consensus, while democracy builds consensus. General Secretary Xi Jinping stresses that it is important to unite all of us. Thought leadership is important in building consensus. In the past few years, the CPPCC has made it an important task to strengthen ideological guidance and build consensus, and we have made a number of innovations to create new mechanisms and platforms to strengthen our ability to build consensus in a new era in a more effective way. For example, we have members reading books mechanism, which is an implementation of General Secretary Xi Jinping's instruction. In the past 2 years or so since its launch, we are organizing and combining various forms of book reading by members and translating the results into social impact. We have now built a smart platform and a CPPCC bookstore where every week we have a physical event. On the smart platform, we have historic courses on history, on Xi Jinping thought, on building unity among different ethnicities, on Chinese culture, and on building a community with a shared future. Altogether, there are 129 groups of book reading. Members are very enthusiastic about taking part. Over 98% of them are involved in the program and making more than 580,000 comments, which has improved their capacity in providing advice and promoted self-learning and education, and encouraged people from all walks of life to follow suit. We are also inviting members of the public to take part, so that we can encourage society-wide reading. And a members' lecture and WeChat with members. These are all new innovations we have made. Now we are organizing another campaign for 100 members to carry out new activities in the lead-up to the 20th National Congress. We have a large group of CPPCC members who have strong influence and a great sense of responsibility, who are taking part in the programs, and to share with the public how they see China has been growing in the past 10 years under the leadership of General Secretary Xi Jinping. They are also sharing how they themselves, as members of the CPPCC, have been advising policymaking and promoting state governance, which is deeply inspiring and building society-wide consensus. The 100-member lecture campaign, which recently held its first event, has seen a number of members sharing very good personal stories. Some shared about China's development of the Beidou navigation satellite. Some talked about food security. And some touched on how China became the fastest country in cleaning up air pollution, and some talked about Beijing's hosting of the Winter Olympics. There was also stories about private businesses promoting economic growth. these were well received by the audience. We are going to continue this program, and the next two events have already been arranged. I'd like to encourage all of you to join the event. Thank you.
下一个问题，好，争取第三排那位男士。
谢主持人，南方都市报提问。想请问呢，就是提案工作呢，社会关注度很高，
Thank you.
长了18大以来，
Making proposals has attracted social attention. Since the 18th CPC National Congress, what new measures have the CPC taken in this respect? Thank you. Indeed, it's work of the CPPCC of overarching and comprehensive importance, and is one of the main means for us to perform our duties. Since the 18th CPC National Congress, we have implemented General Secretary Xi's relevant guidelines to improve the quality of proposals. Over the past decade, we have received over 58,000 proposals and approved 47. These have gathered pooled wisdom of the members. A lot of them have been accepted and translated into policies promoting social and economic development, making important reference for the parties and countries' decision-making. The proposals have fully shown that how the CPPCC, as a specialized consultative body, has played its important role in the whole process people's democracy. It has shown the sense of responsibility of our members. In the new era, we have 4 new measures in this regard. First, attach great importance to the quality of proposals. We've released guidelines in this respect, emphasizing that quality is the live proposals. It is the quality, not quantity, of proposals that matter most. Research should be carried out before making proposals, and we encourage members to focus on making 1 or 2 high-quality proposals each year. We have made strict standards so that the proposals should be clarified, viable, and specific. We have a mechanism for reviewing the quality of the proposals and also a motivation and a strategy for that. Second, we'll deepen a proposal-based consultation. We emphasize that we should have true consultation and have consultation all through the process of making proposals, whether in the early period, in the review, in the submission, and in the supervision, and in the outcome feedback. In all these procedures, we have specific consultative methods. Especially, the relevant authorities should include consultation into their work procedure to address problems and build consensus through making proposals. Third, enhance supervision over the implementation of proposals. Each year, we will have a list of key proposals, especially those forward-looking, of overarching importance, and of strategic importance. Those have great influence over the economic and social development. We will personally supervise their implementation. For instance, for 4 years in a row, Mr. Wang Yang supervised proposals on food security, the protection of ecosystem of the Qinghai Tibet Plateau, and historical and cultural protection. Through on-site research and symposiums, we've built consultative platforms for the authorities concerned to help to address the issues. Fourth, we focus on improving our working mechanisms to deepen our understanding about the rules of making proposals. We have focused on the features and also introduced supportive measures. We've visited other political parties regularly and the authorities making proposals regularly so as to better leverage the role of making proposals in modernizing national governance system and means. Thank you.
下一个问题，前排这位女士。
Thank you. My question is about democratic oversight, which is the basic function of democratic parties. How have they been exercising this power, and how are they doing this? Thank you for your attention to this question. The CPC Central Committee pays a lot of attention to this area of work. In our multi-party cooperation system, an important mechanism is the mutual oversight between the CPC and the democratic parties. That is to say, the CPC supervises the democratic parties, and the democratic parties also supervise the CPC. And the latter is called the democratic oversight. What is democratic supervision? According to the rules of work of the United Front by the CPC, it means that upholding the four cardinal principles, the democratic party's non-affiliates provides opinions, gives criticisms and suggestions, and carries out political supervision over the CPC in forms of political consultation, inspection tours, taking part in the deliberation of major state policies, and overseeing the implementation of decisions and instructions. This is the democratic supervision by the democratic parties. As for if this is being carried out effectively, I can say that democratic parties are doing it in a very effective way and very impactful way. For example, in 2016, entrusted by the CPC Central Committee, the Central Committees of the 8 democratic parties were paired up with 8 central and western provinces which had a heavy task of poverty affiliation, and carried out democratic supervision in 6 areas in poverty alleviation, including how to identify accurately poor populations. In about 5 years, this is the first time for democratic parties to carry out specialized supervision on major state policies. In about 5 years, the Central Committees of the democratic parties provided more than 2,400 pieces of criticism and opinions to the provincial committees and governments, and provided more than 80 reports to the CPC Central Committee and the State Council. Following that program, democratic parties also carried out another special program on environmental protection in the Yangtze River Delta. Starting from 2021, as entrusted by the CPC Central Committee, the 8 democratic parties and non-affiliates working on environmental protection in the Yangtze River Delta were engaged in another 5-year program to study the rehabilitation and protection of the water bodies and pollution control of shipping and harbors. Beginning in 2021, in which year, overcoming the impact of the pandemic, the parties conducted 45 on-site visits, provided more than 250 pieces of suggestions to the local CPC committees and governments, and filed 6 reports to the CPC Central Committee and the State Council through direct channels. We are confident that as an important part of the socialist supervision system with Chinese characteristics, this will demonstrate its new strengths and achieve new make new achievements in the new era. Thank you. The CPC is promoting the whole process of people's democracy. How is the CPPCC acting on this concept? What strengths does our political system have, and what role it can play in promoting this model of democracy? Let me first give the floor to Ms. Zhou. Thank you for your question. Democracy is a universal value of humanity and an abiding commitment of the CPC and the long-time aspiration of the Chinese people. Since the 18th National Congress of the CPC, the CPC has proposed the important concept of the whole process people's democracy with a deeper understanding of China's realities. It combines different forms of exercising democracy and different forms of acting on democracy to create a pattern in which the people's voices can be heard throughout all links of government work. How does the CPPCC act on this philosophy? We mainly work through consultation. The CPPCC is an important channel for socialist consultation, a specialized body for consultation. Our consultation takes place before and during decision-making. Through consultation, we promote decision-making and carry out democratic supervision, which shows the special strength of whole process people's democracy. For example, in the drawing up of the 14th Five-Year Plan, which is an important overarching task in China's social and economic development, the CPPCC carried out consultation, making proposals to collect and reflect the opinions of all sectors. Many of our suggestions were adopted. After the fifth meeting of the 19th CPC National Congress, we held special standing committee meetings to study the plan and carried out inspections and tours to continue to provide input to policy making. We also organized members' lectures and members' reading events to educate the public about the plan and build consensus. In implementing the 14th Five-Year Plan, the CPPCC carried out specialized democratic supervision, the 10 special theme committees focusing on the various fields of work covered in the 14th Five-Year Plan. Each year picked one area to carry out consistent supervision. Our work permeates all process of the implementation of the 14th Five-Year Plan. It also shows that China is a real democracy. Our consultative democracy covers all links of life and all sectors of life. It is real, effective people's democracy.
好，下面我接着来回答这位记者朋友，关于我国新型政党制度的优势。刚才呢，我们介绍了中国新型政党制度，就是中国共产党
the strength of China's political party system.
从这个制度的形成和发展来看，这是中国共产党。
From the formation to the development of the system, it's an important political innovation of the CPC, Chinese people and allied political parties and non-affiliates. It's now become a basic political system of China and a new model political party system rooted in China's soil.
It has many strengths. For example, it is the combination of Marxist theories on political parties and China's realities. It is an extensive and reliable means of representing and fulfilling the interests of the maximum number of people of all ethnic groups, social sectors. It avoids the drawbacks of the old political party system that stands only for a small number of people and interest groups. It unites all political parties and non-affiliates towards a common goal, which is the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation, effectively mitigating the risks of inadequate oversight in one-party rule and the problems of continual transfers of governing parties and destructive competition in multi-party political system. The standardized institutional procedures and arrangements pulls ideas and suggestions to ensure informed and democratic decision-making. It avoids the weakness of the Western-style political party systems. When making decisions and exercising governance, political parties act in their own interests or the interests of the classes, regions, and groups they represent, provoking division in society. This system has played an important role in promoting the whole process people's democracy. An irreplaceable role, to be sure. First of all, through political party consultation, deliberation of state affairs, and democratic supervision, it opens up channels for various interests to make their voice heard, to pool public's wisdom and solutions, and help the governing party to improve their work. Second, it focuses on effective consultation as the means to everything it does, which is very helpful for building consensus, pooling wisdom and strength so that we can accomplish major tasks in a very effective way. And third, it promotes cooperation and consultation and keeps antagonism and conflicts in check, which reduces social frictions and promotes political stability and social harmony. So in promoting the whole process people's democracy, our system highlights the CPC's leadership and also promotes socialist democracy. It has important functions of encouraging political participation, social cohesion, democratic supervision, and unity. It showcases the nature of us as a socialist democracy in which people are masters of their own life.
In China's new model of political party system, the CPC and other political parties are close friends who enjoy sincere cooperation and sharing will and woe. In the face of major challenges and difficulties in recent years, what role has the other political parties played? Thank you for your question, which has raised a very good one. For a long time, the CPC has supported other political parties in fully leveraging their strengths in gathering talent, pooling wisdom, and reaching out to the general public, and made their advice heard on major political, economic, and social issues of overall strategic and pioneering importance, and playing their role in the cause of the party's and country's cause. Especially in recent years, in the face of major risks and challenges, other political parties have acted together with the CPC to overcome the difficulties and make important contributions. Two examples. One is the battle against COVID-19. At the beginning of 2020, struck by COVID-19, non-CPC political parties immediately answered the call of the CPC Central Committee. In a short time, they have built consensus and fought the COVID-19 pandemic united as one, showing the sense of responsibility as participating parties in the governance at the critical junctures. According to partial data, over 60,000 medical workers among members of the non-CPC political parties and non-affiliates fought COVID at the front line. They altogether submitted nearly 4,000 proposals to the CPC Central Committee, the State Council, and relevant departments. They also donated actively funds and supplies worth of altogether over 5.11 billion yuan. During this period, some medical workers from other political parties sacrificed their lives at the front line. Second, the battle against poverty and to revitalize rural development. Non-CPC political parties have actively launched initiatives such as intellectual support to underdeveloped areas, employment assistance for surplus labor, and the China Ziyuan Foundation for Poverty Alleviation. They've assisted in non-profit undertakings including vocational training, education programs, fundraising for disaster relief, and aid for people in need. For instance, in Bijie pilot zone in Guizhou province, established in 1988. For 3 decades, non-CPC political parties and non-affiliates have supported the development of the pilot zone. They've launched 6 major initiatives, focusing on industry, education, medical care, consumption, intellectual support, and social undertakings. So far, they have invested over 2.3 billion yuan, assisted with over 3,100 programs, and created 319,000 training opportunities. With their help, 16,700 people in poverty have been lifted out of poverty. And also, 7 national-level poor counties and 1,981 poor villages have risen out of poverty. So this is a vivid example of how the United Front and multi-party cooperation have contributed to poverty reduction and the revitalization of rural development. Thank you.
谢谢中国日报提问。刚才发布词中介绍，全国政协在增强委员责任担当。
Earlier, you mentioned that to help CPPCC members better discharge their duties, you have done a lot of work. Can you share more details? Thank you for your question. As it was said by General Secretary Xi Jinping, CPPCC members must discharge their duties for the benefit of the country and the people, and always remember their responsibilities. They must understand their work and be good at that work, follow discipline and rules, and value public sentiment. Members are the main body of our work. They are our strength, our greatest potential, and our vitality. We have 2,160 members from 34 sectors involving different parties and ethnic minorities. We continuously improved our team of members to increase their awareness, sense of responsibility, and capacity. We also encourage them to take real actions to stay true to their aspirations. And now we have had a very strong team of members working at the CPPCC. First of all, they have a stronger sense of political responsibility. We have formulated documents to educate members to strengthen their political awareness, to study the party's theories, to fully understand the decisive significance of establishing the core position of General Secretary Xi Jinping and his thought, and to make sure that they have a clear position on major issues and follow this path with socialism with Chinese characteristics. Second, they have a stronger capacity to deliver responsibilities they are studying on a continuous basis. Each member will take part in at least one special program during his or her term to increase their capabilities in research, in interacting with the public, and in working with other members. Third, we're creating better working conditions. We have a multi-tiered system for members to engage with each other, to encourage them to sit in work meetings, and we also welcome local CPPCC members to take part in the national programs. Members from Hong Kong and Macau are also taking part in our programs, and we are providing different supports, such as IT support for members to carry out their work. For example, we have a mobile app right now for them to do their work. Working with CPPCC committees at 31 provinces, we have built a network covering the whole country to involve more members and allow them to work with greater efficiency. Fourth, we have promoted standardized regulations for their performance and assessment. We have built files of members and mechanisms for CPC members, committee members, to evaluate the performance of CPPCC members. We have set up awards for the outstanding members to encourage excellence. Thank you.
Last two questions. We've noticed that over the past decade, the CPPCC has done a lot of work to enhance the party's leadership. So it has strengthened its organization development with party's building. Can you brief us on your work in this regard? Thank you for your question. Since the 18th CPC National Congress, the CPPCC has fulfilled its duty as a fundamentally political organization and adhere to the basic principle of enhancing the party's leadership in all the work it has done. It has advanced its various work with party building and profoundly understood the two establishments, enhanced the four consciousness and competencies, and safeguards two upholds. In everything it has done, it has kept the overall direction and played the role of basic party organizations, and also leveraged the model role of party members. First, we've unswervingly implemented party leadership in every work we've been doing. We've implemented a system to implement party leadership and improved the mechanism for implementing the CPC Central Committees and General Secretary Xi Jinping's important guidelines, and also the review system. We've improved the system for reporting our annual plan and other work to the CPC Central Committee to ensure that the major policies of the party will be faithfully implemented. We've carried out symposiums and experience sharing sessions on party building to earnestly implement the new requirements for party building in the new era. and implement intra-party laws and regulations. Our party members, we have come up with 8 priority tasks to ensure party members will participate in both party life and work. We have mechanisms for building the development of different party groups to ensure that party leadership will cover all our work and all our members. Second, we've enhanced ideological building to focus on studying the innovative theories of the party. To study Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics, we have developed a new system of holding relevant sessions and symposiums. We use the chairman's meetings and standing members' meetings to collectively study President Xi's, General Secretary Xi's latest important speeches and theoretical thinking, to make theoretical studies institutionalized and regularized. We encourage members to have regular book reading, and in celebrating the 70th anniversary of the PRC and the centenary of the CPC, we've leveraged our own unique strength and innovated our model of studying to encourage our members to enhance their faith in the parties and relevant system to forge ahead together under the banner of socialism with Chinese characteristics. Third, we've played the role of model party members. Through enhancing mechanisms and strengthening supervision, we've motivated party members to perform their duties faithfully and show a sense of responsibility to set examples for others. For instance, we encourage them to carry out independent researches, and which will be reviewed by others. We encouraged party members to play a priority role in building consensus and leading clean lives. In recent period of time, in poverty reduction, the battle against COVID, the safeguarding economic life, and the building of science and technology, a lot of party members have stepped up to the challenges and showed their sense of responsibilities. Thank you.
好，最后一个问题，前排这位女士。
谢谢主持人给我这个机会，我是长江日报的驻京记者。就是面对这个现在是全球经济复苏乏力。
Now the world today faces sluggish economic recovery, regional conflicts and turbulence, and also global challenges. Some scholars in the West are looking to the East for wisdom. So my question is, what can China's political party system offer to human political civilization?
好，我来回答这个问题，感谢您的提问。刚才呢，我们已经
Thank you for
介
your
绍了
question.
中国新型政党制度
Earlier, we
呢
talked
有
about
鲜明的
China's
中国特色
political party system, which has distinct Chinese
在我国的
features.
政治和社会生活中呢，彰显着独特的优势。
It has special strength in our political life and
那么
has
同时
strong
呢，中国新型政
vigor.
党制度引起世界的关注，
It is also
因为呢，
attracting worldwide
中国新型
attention
政党制度能够为世
because
界政党制度的
it
发展
can
提供
offer
有益的借鉴，是对政党制度
important
理
food
论
for
体系
thought
的
for
丰
the
富，
development of world
也是对
political
人类
party
政治
systems,
文明发展的重大
which
贡
is
献。
also a contribution to the
有
political
这么几个方面啊，
progress of
一
human
个呢是
political
创造了一种
civilization.
新的
I see it in the
政
following
党制
ways.
度模
First of
式。
all, this is a new
中国
model
的
of
政党制
political
度
party
既不是
system.
缺乏民
It
主
is
的一
not
党制，
a one-party
相
system
互
which
竞争
has
的多党
inadequate
制，
democracy.
也不是
It
所
is
谓
not
的
a
多党
multi-party
联合
system
制，而
featuring
是中国共产
vicious
党领导
competition.
的
It is
多
not
党
a
合作
multi-party
制。
coalition, but a multi-party
共产
cooperation
党
system
领导
under the
与
CPC's
多党派合
leadership.
作的有机结
It is
合，
an
体现了奋斗目
organic
标和方向
combination
的
of
一
the
致，
CPC's leadership
政治
and
团结
democratic
和
parties'
有序
cooperation,
参与的扩大。
They have common goals and direction, political solidarity, and participate in state affairs in an orderly way. They work together but not antagonize each other. They follow one party's leadership, and they also exercise democracy, which ensures the right direction and vitality in our political life. Second, it creates a new political party relationship. In this system, the various parties are in cooperation and harmony. The CPC is the governing party. It creates conditions for democratic parties to take part in political life, and the democratic parties help the governing party to better deliver for the people. They supervise each other but not sabotage each other. As sincere and candid friends, they share different ideas and even criticisms. Such a harmonious political party relationship enables the governing party to focus single-mindedly on development and democratic parties to contribute their share to development. Third, it creates a new way of state governance. The CPC, as the governing party, supports democratic parties in taking part in state political and social affairs through deliberation of state affairs, democratic supervision, political consultation, and leveraging their strengths in different sectors and different groups of talents to help the CPC better govern the country. In this multi-party cooperation system, the standardized institutional procedures and arrangements helps to pool ideas and suggestions to ensure informed and democratic decision-making. So, practice has shown that this system is unique to China. It suits China's conditions. It also creates a new political party governance model in the history of political parties in the world. It demonstrates the Chinese wisdom for the world political party system. It is a major contribution to the human political civilization. We are very confident that we can provide more Chinese solutions as humanity explores more social arrangements. Thank you. Thank you very much. So much for our press conference today. Thank you.